I've specialized in working with tired, burned out people for the last 30 odd years, 3 decades. That's half my life, more than half my life, actually. And I'm passionate about it because I burned out in my 20s and I was able to have a naturopath who helped me get on track and created such a different possibility for me in life. And I attract from all around the world all these people who are just burning the candle at both ends, and their bodies just, they need help. So I'm hammered with, Jen, what else can I do to help my nervous system? So I wanted to just do a short, sharp one here. This is kind of the bottom line on how to balance the nervous system with my naturopath's brain. Let's go. So talking the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, we want to be able to get it better balanced. And stress is an imbalance between that parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. And it's basically when we've got too much fight and flight going on and not enough rest and recovery happening. And the reality is people have busy lives. I get it. I juggle so many balls by choice within my life because I love doing what I do so much. However, I absolutely factor in time for everything from my surfing and walks and all these things, and my gardening and my ukulele, all these things that help to give me that quality rest. And it's about going for quality over quantity. That's the place to start. So how do you know your nervous system is even out of balance? So you might be seeing things like tired and cranky, crappy, broken sleep, particularly awake between 2 and 4 a.m., anxiety, stress, like holding your breath, like really, depression, and not even depression nowadays. So many people are just not happy. Their brain, they're just stretched too far. The last 3 years has just been full on for people, and they're falling in a bit of a heap now. Might be recurring headaches and gut issues. You know, when we stress out, I've done so many podcasts on how, you know, the fire in our belly goes out. Nowadays, doctors are talking about the vagus nerve, which is fits our naturopath and Chinese medicine thinking about how cortisol stress, you know, makes us shrunk our shoulders, which pinches the vagus nerve, which then shut down the gut, and you're not even absorbing all the nutrients out of your body. It's huge. And so we see a lot of gut issues. We see a lot of refluxy things, and I see doctors go and prescribe medication just to stop acid instead of fix the problem, which is manage the stress and repair and restore the gut chemistry. So there's so much to this, but it might be showing up for you like gut stuff. And if you're just, you know, those days you just think, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I've had enough. You're just too stretched. Your ability to cope with day-to-day lives. And it's usually the little thing. It's just that final straw that tips you over the edge. That's what's going on. So the nervous system, it can adapt to a certain point, and then it wants to fall in a hole. And so we just see it. It might be also, we just see it so much. It's huge. And, you know, yes, it might be being impacted by illness that's happening, or trauma, or emotional stress, or, you know, poor diet, lack of exercise, all those things as well. But really, it's just things that we do to try and deal with life usually create more of the problem. So people having too much caffeine, too much alcohol, drugs, further and further and further down the hole. So I wanted to share the bottom line. These are my absolute bottom line on what we can do to start getting ourselves out of the hole. All right. First one is to breathe. Number one thing that I talk about in my book, The 7 Steps to Sanity, which is the book on how I got myself out of the hole when I burned out in my 20s. We have to breathe. So the 5 by 5 by 5. It's like, I remember when I was in the army, we, you know, as much as we'd go out for a great big long route march or some kind of, you know, physical exercise, they didn't care that you could do it. They cared about how quick you recovered. And I remember learning to get my heart rate back fastest by doing 5 by 5 by 5. So you breathe in for 5, hold your breath for 5, breathe out for 5. You do a few rounds of that and your breath comes back to center, your heart comes back to center. It slows you down the fastest. So when you're in times of just like, what's going on? Breathe. Remember, 5 by 5 by 5. Cool. The next one, bring mindful movement. So things like yoga, things like Tai Chi, things like Qigong, Pilates, those kind of exercises, they're very mindful movements that when your body is this tired, don't go and flog yourself on a big run or do a great big gym workout. That's not what your body needs. Your body needs mindful movement. And so those kind of things, those kind of Eastern philosophies of movement are also restorative to the adrenal glands. Okay, we want to get the adrenals out of survival mode because they're what's governing how your nervous system's working. So we also need to take regular breaks from the day. I call them brain farts. I work for about an hour, and when I'm working here at home, and I go and walk the garden. I go and play with the cat. I go and do something. I get out, have 5 minutes or 10 minutes of sunshine. I take brain farts through the day. I factor them into my diary to make sure I get enough breaks. It's important. Eat close to nature 80% of the time. Make sure you're getting enough protein. We need about 1.8 to 2 times, or 2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight every day. Most people are having nowhere near enough protein, and their body is just like, emotionally starving. We want a good balance of good fats, good carbs, good proteins. Go back to my podcast. I've done endless ones on eating. So check them out. Make sleep a priority. That is not negotiable. That is your adrenal glands recharge while you are sleeping. It has to be your biggest priority. Ideally between 7 and 9 hours to get your adrenals to recharge. It's my biggest discipline out of everything. It's a bigger discipline than water, and I'm so disciplined with water. It just is. It's a not negotiable for me because I know the value of that to our health. It helps keep us alive. And you know how you deal with stress and how your nervous system will respond if you are tired from crappy sleep. Cool? You want to bathe in nature every day, particularly like the 10 before 10, we say. At least 10 minutes of sunshine before 10 a.m. I surf sunrise. I don't need to wear sunscreens or do any of those kind of things. I'm out in the morning sun for a few hours, and it's just like, as well as all the negative ions at the beach, it's just like, give it to me. Take it all in. Your nervous system just goes, yeah, just takes a breath. It's mind-blowing, the effects of getting out into nature every day. Bathe in nature. Whether you're a forest person or a beach person, it doesn't matter. Get out, instead of going for a bloody run in the gym, get out into nature and do the run. Let it help heal you. Talk to someone is another one. So, download it. Don't download and dump, but find someone where you can release. And if you haven't got someone to talk to, write it, brain dump it, get it out. Just write it. Whether you're into journaling or whether you want to even just, do Zen funerals, which is where you write it and then burn it to release that energy. But you want to get that mobilized from your body. And then the ultimate not negotiable in my life is to come from a place of prevention. Biohack your health by taking adaptogens. Adaptogen herbs are a class of herbs that help your body to adapt to stress. Stop waiting to do tired and cranky. Stop waiting to do crappy sleep and crappy moods and crappy energy and crappy weight. Biohacking is this new term that's around. Naturopaths, we've always said, come from a place of prevention, live from a place of prevention. Don't wait to get sick. Stop waiting to stress your nervous system. Get it out of a hole for sure now, and then be proactive. Biohack your health. I've been taking adaptogen herbs for over 30 years, over 3 decades, because I know the importance to my everyday hormonal life. They are a game changer. I'll put a link in the show notes if you want to go and check it out to see the ones that I take, but they're priceless, I think. So what's a healthy life hack for this episode? Pretty simple. Which one of those? I've given you 11. Which one can you start with today? Go to the show notes, www.healthylifehacks.com.au, and read the list. Print it out if you need, but go and check it out. And which one can you bring? Just one. Just start. Don't need to do it all at once, but start. Imagine you did one of these a week for the next 10 weeks. Oh my gosh, you'll have your body in such a different place. Remember, breathe, fiber. Number 2 is do yoga or Tai Chi or Pilates, one of those kind of Qigong kind of movements a day. Mindful movement, okay? Take regular breaks. Do your brain farts during the day. Eat close to nature the majority of the time. Make sure you're getting enough water. Make sure you're getting enough protein. Make sleep a priority, not negotiable, between 7 and 9 hours sleep every single night. The best of your sleep happens between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. bathe in nature, do 10 before 10. 10 before 10. That's all it is. 10 before 10. Either brain dump and get it out, or talk to someone. If you've got stuff going on, just get it moving. Get it moving, okay? Find someone to talk to or write it out. And then the last one is not negotiable for me. Come from a place of prevention and biohack your health with adaptogens. Have fun getting back on track and learning to live from a place of prevention. Remember to go to the show notes, www.healthylifehacks.com.au, and you can find my link to the adaptogens I take and take it from there. See ya.